This week I am really struggling with my pH. I posted a video, what would it be? This time last year actually, where just reopened the pond, everything's hunky-dory, all of a sudden massive spike, you know, in my pH. Couldn't understand why. Concluded the video where I didn't know why. It's happened again this year. Literally, covers off, I get the sky pond back on, next thing, pH is starting to go up again. I'll show you. So this is my pH normally, and it's usually tap water. So that's my usual pH level when I measure it. In the mornings, I've been getting that as a pH level, which is almost 8. So you got sort of 7 to 7.1, which is perfect for my pond. It's where it usually always is. Then in the morning we've got this, and then because your pH level fluctuates throughout the day, you come to the evening and we've now jumped to that. Now the other night that was worse. That was dark purple. The other day, fish not happy, and they're still not happy now. I've been putting water in, changing water, alkaline is way up. And like I say, I don't, why in my pond every year when I reopen the pond, only last year and this year is this happening? So I could do with a bit of help from you guys out there really, to comment below. So from just going from this to this is just so annoying, and I'm trying to make changes to the pond that you're going to see in the next couple of videos, well hopefully in the next couple of videos, but I can't do anything until I get my pH sorted out. You know, the fish aren't happy, the fish aren't eating as much as they usually do, you know, nobody at the window. I've got food floating around on the surface that isn't getting eaten, so I'm having to take that out and bin it when it doesn't get used. So I went round to see Steve at Pencoy and said, look, you know, what do you reckon? Because he was talking about water changes, but what he did say is that there's other pond owners throughout Stoke-on-Trent, especially in my near area, who are having exactly the same problems. So anybody in the Stoke-on-Trent area, if you're having the same problems with your water, your tap water going in, because I don't know if it's tap water going in, but anyway, if you're having the same problems, comment below. And if you've nailed it and you've sorted it back to where it should be, comment below, because I need some help here. I'm kind of running out of ideas, and like I say, I did this video, a similar video to this last year, that I even watched again to think, now what did I conclude? But I didn't conclude anything, because I've even routed it from the source, from my tap, into the filter system, through the filter system, through the UV, back in the pond, through the inlet, into the pond, around the pond, back out the pond, through the filter system, and around we go again. So I'm trying to work out which part of that cycle is turning the pH up if I've made no changes since opening the pond up again, apart from putting on the sky pond. But it's a glass and plastic sky pond that has had no issues with it since it's been on. Taking the filter floss out, no issues. So it's got to be something to do with how the water is reacting once it's come out of that tap, which is showing me 7 point something, and then as it circulates the pond, it's going high, it's starting to rise and rise and rise. Why? I don't know why I walked backwards then, but anyway, why? Comment below if you have any ideas, and I'm sure you got loads. I'll tell you what I've done actually. I've had some crushed oyster shells in my filter system in some tights that are mine, wife's. I don't have that shade. Anyway, so I spoke to Steve, and Steve said, oh, you're gonna need a lot more than that to do anything. You're gonna need, like, you know, kilos of the damn stuff, and I don't know where you're gonna put it. So what I have been doing each morning is coming in and sort of moving it around like this and crushing it up and making sort of this white stuff that comes out of it. And I think because maybe I mean, I've put it in the vortex right next to the inlet of the vortex, but I am every morning just doing this and just crushing them up, and it makes it go milky a little while, then it disappears off. And I don't know, I've started doing that for the last couple of days, so I'm going to see if that makes any difference over the next couple of days. I'll tell you one thing I've stopped doing. I've stopped trickling in as much water as I was over the last week or so. You know, this has been going on for a little while now, so I've stopped. I was doing some big change of water, hence, you know, if the pH is where it is in there, then put some lower pH in. But as soon as you put the lowest pH in, it just raises it again. Bit of a quandary here. Also, I was talking about the fish feeding. What I'm finding is the fish are taking in the food and then just spitting it back out again. You know, then they're not feeling that well with this sudden change in pH. And it's a bummer because, like I said earlier, I've got some changes that I want to make in the pond that are on standby at the moment, because I can't make that change until I've got the pH sorted. So for those who are watching this who know what I'm on about, bear with me. As soon as I get this pH sorted, we can make those changes. Oh, I get you. Right, I'm going to get some water testing done. I've been doing these water tests, obviously for pH, daily, and I'm watching it go up and then go down again, then go back up on the pH. But I think today I'm going to do my sort of test for nitrite, nitrate, ammonia, and so on and so forth. So while I'm waiting for them to do, I've got to mow the lawn, so let's get that done as well then. That's better. Don't you just love a freshly mowed lawn? Right, so just something else I need to point out. What I did do the other day, and I thought I'd see if it helps with the pH, is I put some Koi Masters Advantage in, because that raises or stables out the pH, or it's supposed to. But what it did raise my KH to about 9. Never been at 9 before. It's usually about 7 is the highest, 7, maybe 8. I've never been to 9, but yeah, it raised it to about 9. So, and that cleared in a couple of days, and that's where my KH has landed at 9. So I thought that was quite high, so I'm not sticking any more Koi Masters Advantage in. Ammonia, no problem at all, exactly where I want it to be. Same with nitrite as well. So it's only really the pH that's messed up everything at the moment, and I can't get that to, as soon as I get that to be more stable, then we can move on a little bit with some plans I have, making adjustments in the pond without giving too much away, in the pond. So I might just let this video run for a few more days and see what happens after I've made some adjustments. I mean, somebody did even suggest, you know, to try sprinkling in some white vinegar to bring up the acidity to try to neutralize it, but I don't know, I have thought about that in the past, but you've got to be bob on and be careful with, I wouldn't know what amount to put in. You know, we're just spraying randomly some white vinegar over the surface, which I'm sure would potentially do it, but you know, I wouldn't know what amounts to put in. I might have to do some reading up on that and see what it says, but yeah, interesting stuff. Right, I think it's time that we start to conclude this video, because I'm doing a lot of tail chasing at the moment. I'm going round and round in circles trying to find out what and why the pH has got so high in my pond. So this is a few days on now, and what I decided to do was I would do some more tests on water, but to eliminate whatever's happening in my pond. So I filled a watering can, or put some water in a watering can, directly from the tap, not going through a dechlorinator. Left that for just over 24 hours. Then I got a bucket and put some water in the bucket that went from the tap through the dechlorinator and into the bucket, and left that to one side for just over 24 hours. Same amount of time as the stuff in the watering can. These are the results. So this is the water in the pond. Is that over 8 is about 8.6, something like that. 8.5, 8.6, something like that. So that's the water from the pond. The water from the watering can that hasn't even been in the pond yet is the same. The water from the bucket, that is the water from the tap but through the dechlorinator but not from the pond, is the same. So conclusion is, whatever's happening to the water as it's coming into the pond, sort of 24 hours or so later, it's the pH is going up in it, whether it's the weather change. You know, we've had lots and lots of bright sun today, no sun at all, but it's been quite thundery. But it wasn't thundery when it went up last time, so I eliminate the thunder bit because it can't be that. But oh man, it's dead interesting. All three are exactly the same now, and this is water that's not even been in the pond yet. So conclusion, interesting. Comment below. Because this happened last year, and because it did get better over a period of time, because what I don't want to do is suddenly drop it off quickly. You know, the fish don't like sudden changes in pH. You either have a pH that's very stable, so if it's 8 or 8, but if this pH in my pond is what it always was, I want it to stay there. Don't move, stay where you are. The fish will get used to that, and then that's what they want, stability. If you start trying to dump it quickly, then the fish don't like that. That's not happy fish at all. So I've looked at my Kactoily monitor this morning, and it has come down a point. So it's 8.1, I think it was now, where it was 8.3 yesterday morning. So I'm kind of happy-ish that it's starting to go in the right direction, but I'm just hoping it continues to steadily come back down again, because I've got some unhappy fish in there at the moment. A bit of flashing went on this morning that I'm keeping an eye on, and I don't think it's parasites. I think it's because the changes in pH again may be causing some irritation or what, I have no idea, but I've got to keep an eye on what's going on in the pond, doing these regular tests for the pH to make sure the pH is coming down. So it did come down last year. I'm kind of hoping it does the same this time, but there's not a lot else I can do about it, because it's not what I'm doing in my system, it's what's coming out the tap and then reacting somehow when you leave it out in the open and the pH is going up. Comment, it's like I say, anybody in Stoke-on-Trent who's having the same probs, comment below, because I believe some of you, Steve says some of you have nailed it where others haven't yet, but I have a funny feeling I'll be able to nail this. So there you go, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like and share to your friends, click the like button because that makes all the difference on the algorithms. Thanks very much for watching, see you again on Koi Pond Lifestyle.